So let's talk about blockchain, and we have four different speakers today from quite different organizations. But prior to introducing my colleagues, I would like to have a quick check on the audience on blockchain subject. Can anyone who had ever had any Bitcoins raise a hand, please? Cool. Now, do you know who Blight Masters is? Anyone? Blight Masters. Blight Masters. Okay, cool. A simpler question. Who knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is?
No one knows. No one knows.
That's strange. Okay. And the last question. Please raise a hand who understands the difference between blockchain and Bitcoin. Okay, so we have a well-prepared audience today, guys. So, gentlemen, can you please introduce yourself, starting with Matej?
So, thank you, Iosif, for inviting me to speak to this panel. My name is Michalko, and I'm the founder and executive director of EXTENT Foundation, which is a Swiss-based entity that is developing the blockchain-based digital content distribution platform.
Okay, thank you. Nikolay.
My name is Nikolay Ratkov. I am an editor on Bits.Media, an informational site about Bitcoin and blockchain.
Artem Duvanov, National Settlement Depository, Moscow Exchange Group, head of architecture office. Sorry.
Anton Sitnikov, head of development team, Exactpro.
Thank you. My first question is, why have you agreed to participate in blockchain panel? What makes this subject appealing to you? And we'll start probably with Matej.
Yeah, so I believe the blockchain technologies is the future of the world, basically. Most of the services that are running online, in my opinion, will run using blockchain from now in 10 to 15 years. Talking about blockchain today, it's like talking about the World Wide Web in 1995. So I'm active in this field, and I'm glad to share my opinions and to hear the opinions of other panelists about those technologies in order to move the development forward. Thank you.
Yeah.
As for me, I am an old cryptocurrencies follower, so I read many and write many about Bitcoins and blockchain. And I think the blockchain technology has a great future.
Okay, I joined National Settlement Depository in June of this year. So, and one of the first mails from management to me was, Artem, do you know what is blockchain, and do you think we can use it for something? Since that time, we actually at the same position. We see that there is a huge interest from market infrastructure organization, from global banks to this subject, but actually we don't see a good business case. So we just cannot avoid and should participate in this global interest, and it is why I'm here.
And I have some concerns about this blockchain technology and Bitcoin and all struggle about Bitcoin and blockchains, what currently happening, and I would like to bring all these concerns to a broader audience, and I hope that this my point of view will make our discussion more live and interesting.
Okay, so talking about the distinction between blockchain and Bitcoin, I think now across panel discussions that we see in Singapore, London, elsewhere, there is overall consensus that Bitcoin's future is more or less unclear, but talking about blockchain, there are those who believe that it is the foundation of the future financial infrastructure, and that there will be lots of development in blockchain that are not related in any way to Bitcoin. So do you expect complete decoupling of blockchain from Bitcoin in the future? Let's go, Matej.
So, as I said, in my opinion, Bitcoin was not designed for real-world application. If you look at the number of Bitcoin users today, according to some estimates, it's about 5 million. And 5 million users worldwide, that's a very, very small number. So, moreover, Bitcoin from its design has many limitations concerning, for example, the number of transactions the network can process per second. So in the case of Bitcoin, it's before the XT extension, it's about 7 transactions per second. If you take, for your comparison, Visa, it's more than 3,000, according to some estimates, but its capacity is even more. So, in my opinion, of course, the future will show how the situation will be, but I think the future are blockchain applications that would be better designed for real world than Bitcoin. Thank you.
Bitcoin and blockchain was born in the same day. It's 3rd January of 2009, but they can be used separately because the Bitcoin is the payment system, but the blockchain just a database. So the blockchain can be used in a non-financial purposes like voting system, right management, and many more.
So Bitcoin has very bad reputation. Yeah, so everybody knows that it is connected to drug dealers, to some illegal activities. So whatever this technology, this product or service, yeah, it can offer, yeah, it cannot be used now in, for example, mainstream finance. So if we as depository want, I don't know, to create some product based on blockchain, yes, so from regulatory standpoint, we should separate it and differentiate from Bitcoin. And I believe that it is the situation which our serious organizations, financial organizations has in the world. And that is actually a reason why the common opinion is that Bitcoin it is a dark side and blockchain it's a good side of this technology. But my personal opinion is that Bitcoin also has some good future. and time will show that it is necessary part of the whole blockchain ecosystem, because blockchain ecosystem in general, yes, not only for traditional finance, it definitely requires some kind of cryptocurrency, real cryptocurrency. Maybe not Bitcoin, maybe some new alternative coin.
As I said before, Bitcoin has many limitations, and I think that this limitation came from blockchain actually, because if we look at blockchain, it has two parts, one about the storage, and there is nothing new that Satoshi has invented. It was used before. BitTorrent, for example, is a similar application. And the second part is about transactions, about proof of work, and so on. And this part has limitation in quantity of transactions which can be processed in some amount of time. It's very limited, and some other limitations. And it's blockchain technology has it all, and I don't think what blockchain and Bitcoin can be really separated. And if you want something really new, it should be probably inspired by blockchain, but it has had to use some different concepts.
Okay, thank you. So Bitcoin dark side, blockchain new hope, but there is lots of hype now about blockchain, but is it technology that now looks for a problem, or are there any real-world applications and uses where blockchain technology can be applied now already? Do you have any view?
Yes, so I think it's blockchain technologies are still in the early stages. I already mentioned the World Wide Web in 1995. So it's actually very difficult to find the use case where the world can benefit the most from this technology. My opinion, the main advantage of blockchain is that it decentralizes trust and removes the sometimes unnecessary central entity. Usually people need some kind of central entity in order to trust it and trust the data or their assets, the solution, the entity is holding for them. But blockchain is able to decentralize this trust up to some extent. But in my opinion, only the future will prove what would be the right use case or a set of use cases for it.
The use cases of blockchain is very different. So it can be payment systems, or like Bitcoin, or some political, like voting, or even to store any data, text, video, music. Or maybe it's sometimes it will bind to Internet of Things to create autonomous or automatic systems which can work without the human.
Okay, there are two potential areas where we can find use cases for this technology. One is actually it's traditional area where we can find existing, we just take existing product service I don't know, payment system, for example, and just replace technology with blockchain. And it is a way that many people try to follow. But the problem is that actually, yes, we can use blockchain, for example, for payment, but it is quite difficult. At least I don't see any numbers that can prove that blockchain is better. Yeah, yes, people are saying that blockchain can improve, decrease risk, decrease cost, and increase speed. But it's just words. Nobody show numbers. It's first area. The second area that blockchain can be used to create just completely new products or services, which just cannot be done without blockchain, without infrastructure that can work without middlemen. Yeah, so we have one example, it's Bitcoin. I believe new use cases will come, but definitely it requires some time.
I doubt what blockchain technologies with blockchain technology it's possible to replace payment system, because when we talk about payment system, we usually talk about something like Visa or MasterCard, and those systems have thousands of transactions per second. It's absolutely not achievable with blockchain as it currently implemented. I think the only good thing what blockchain can do it's to probably push the industry to invent something really new and which will replace many other technologies.
Okay, thank you. So blockchain results in trust decentralization, and say exchange is a trusted middleman, banks are trusted intermediaries, and there are various studies published by banks, etc. They do have some figures, like it will be possible to save 57 billions in clearing and settlement costs. It will be possible to save 20 billions in clearing and settlement costs. Do you think that, taking into account that blockchain has potential for implementing decentralized trust, do you think there is a threat to the currently existing financial institutions like exchanges, banks, clearinghouses, etc.?
In my opinion, more than a threat, it's a redefinition of their business model. The incumbents who find the advantages of blockchain technologies early enough would be able to integrate them and save a lot of cost. Therefore, in my opinion, it will not replace most of the current incumbents from the financial industry. It will just make them redefine their business models.
For now, I think it is too early to talk that the blockchain can be a threat to the banks, because it's just a technology, so banks can use it or avoid it or develop something better. So only time will show.
To banks, no, I don't believe it can be a threat to banks as I don't know, as a business. You know this statement, yet I don't remember who is offered that we don't need banks, but we need banking. Yeah, it's not about blockchain, but I don't believe in that, because banks also agents of government, yes, in providing some policies. So and nobody will take it, and blockchain cannot do that definitely. So bank will exist. Probably, some functions will be done in blockchain, maybe, but it doesn't mean that it will not be controlled by banks. If we talk about some other organizations, that time will show. Yeah.
I agree with previous speakers. I don't think that there is any threat from blockchain or Bitcoin to existing organizations.
Do you have any estimate when blockchain technology will be enterprise ready, so it can be used in real life in financial services by, say, banks, exchanges, etc.? When do you think technology might be available? Do you have any estimate?
I think it really depends on the use case, the current use case, but particular use case. But I think it will take about 5 years in order to have a fine-tuned version of a working blockchain.
Nikolay.
Я его боюсь. I think the blockchain will be enterprise ready when it will be standardized in some forms, in protocols, data formats, and many more. It may take a few years or tens of years, but it will take time.
Okay. Artem?
You asked who knows Bliss Masters. I know, yeah, and she said that it will take 10 years. I agree with her. I think it is conservative, yeah, but how can it happen? Yes, that this technology will become enterprise level. So first of all, we will see some real applications, maybe in next 1 to 3 years. Yes, or after that we will all have some time to verify that it actually works and actually gives some benefits and there are no serious flaws, and it also will take several years. So plus some 2 3 years to develop industry, so 10 years.
Okay, thank you. Anton, do you have any view?
I think that some part of blockchain-related technology we will see in very short future, and I think this will be gateways to Bitcoin system, because I think many banks would like to have the gateways to be able to make trades for Bitcoins, but other I think it will never happen.
Okay, thank you. Do you see any danger in investing now into fintech related to blockchain and Bitcoin? How dangerous you think this investment can be? Do you have any view?
Well, investing into blockchain fintech, I think standard rules of investing apply here. So risk analysis and so on. I don't think there is any particular additional risk associated with blockchain fintech. So I don't think it is an additional threat to invest into it.
Okay, any other views? Okay, well, talking about danger, Lord Vader, do you have anything to add on the subject?
Yes. Do you see any potential in using distributed ledger for market manipulation?
Good question. Anyone? Do you see any potential for, will it increase potential for market manipulation, the presence of distributed ledgers or not?
So market manipulation, if you have a look at Bitcoin and its value, it's you too, and its value in 2011, it was just a few cents, much less than $1. Then there was a bump, it went to about 30, then it went down back to about 5 or 8, and then at the early 2013 it jumped up to was about 200, and then there was a plateau as well, and in late 2013 it went to more than $1,200 for I think about 1 week. And at the end, currently, the value of Bitcoin is about $300. So I can see some market manipulation in there.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Bitcoin market is still very, very small. Yes, sir. I think daily turnover is about 50 millions. Just, yes, so it attracts lots of attention. So definitely, yes. So we know Mavrodi is manipulating now this market. So.
Okay. Okay. I hope anyone will join me in saying thank you to our speakers for a great discussion. Thank you. Do we have a winner, actually?
Yes.
It's Ilgar Alekperov and Mr. Antonopoulos from Athens Exchange. Thank you.